SNP spokesperson Pete Wishart.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. And I think the whole world shook just a little bit on its axis this morning as we realised all our worst fears with the invasion of Ukraine. Even though this has been fully expected, I think the full horror of what's happened this morning has been quite difficult to comprehend and to process. And where we're grateful for the Prime Minister's statement, which I understand will be at 5 o'clock now today, will the Leader of the House assure us that this will be the first of many Prime Minister's statements and that he will promise to keep this House updated of any progress and any developments? And I welcome his words about being flexible with the business, but we need to hear more about this, and I'm sure that he'll agree with me and with the Shadow Leader of the House that any legislation requiring the toughest of sanctions must take priority over any other business that he may have announced for next week. And, Mr Speaker, we're hoping to hear that the Prime Minister will at last take the firm, decisive action that we've all been calling for and is now required. But can the Leader of the House perhaps tell the House what type of legislation might be required for the toughest of sanctions and how long that might be to get this through this House? The minimalist measures have proven to be totally inadequate and ineffective. What we now need is to sanction to the max and to end the City of London being Putin's financial laundromat of choice. We also need a statement about Russian propaganda. We need to stop this Russia propaganda being pumped 24/7 into the houses of the UK. Now, I know the Prime Minister has said that taking RT off air requires an intervention from Ofcom, but does he now not agree that this is a technicality whose time has passed? And can I also say to the Leader of the House that RT contributor Alex Salmond is as much a member of the SNP as UKIP's Neil Hamilton is a member of his Conservative Party. This petty point scoring should now come to an end because the Ukrainian people want to see the unity of this House. This is a dark day for Ukraine and for the whole of Europe, but if he brings forward the decisive hard measures, he will get our support.
Leader.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. And I genuinely thank the honourable gentleman for his contribution this morning. I think that uniting this House together in its objection to Russian aggression is fundamental to our response. I think a unified House means that we can present ourselves along with our international colleagues in a way which sends a very strong message to the Russian president, and he will recognise that the government and the Prime Minister has kept this House up to speed. That will continue to happen, not least of all at 5 o'clock this afternoon when the Prime Minister will come to this House. I welcome his commitment to assisting with legislation, and the speed of that legislation and the progress of that is of course assisted by cross-party and cross-house unity, and I'm sure together we can send very strong messages and try and assist the people of Ukraine in this very dark hour.